All right, let's talk about the ups and downs of Doom Eternal. I went into this expecting it to be... So I've played Doom 2, I skipped Doom 64, and Doom 3. I may go back to those at some point. And then I played Doom 2016, and now I've played Doom Eternal. And I expected this to be more Doom 2016, because it's... they just rebooted it. It's not, it looked from all the advertisements I'd seen, everything, that it was basically the same development team. I figured it'd be in the same engine. Boy, was I wrong. Well, it might technically be in the same engine, but it doesn't look the same at all. As soon as I started playing it, I was thinking, why does it look more arcadey, more cartoony, almost cheap? It was off-putting at first. I didn't think I liked it because it seemed like it was more arcadey, I guess is the best way to put it, but I liked the grit and the dark, the realism and the grittier look of 2016. So this one looked took a lot of that back, and I was confused as to why. It didn't hit me until I was more than halfway through the game that what they did was they decided to make it look more like the original Doom games, Doom 1 and 2. The med packs and the ammo, the enemy, the character, the enemy designs and everything, they look a lot like they did in the original Doom games. And I hadn't played Doom 2016 in like 2.5 years, so I went back and watched some gameplay of it, and that's when I figured it out. Because I wanted to see, I was like, why does it look so different? I went back and looked, and I was like, oh, they made it look more like the original Doom. So once I knew that, I really started to enjoy it and appreciate it. And we're burying the lead here. So that's one thing that it won me over once I figured out what they were doing. And now I really like that. But the main reason that I think this game is really good is the way that they do the gameplay. It's resource management. This game is a resource management game, like Resident Evil, except instead of taking your time and deciding what you want to keep in your inventory and using one bullet at a time to manage your inventory in that way, it's just balls to the wall action. You're using resources constantly: health, ammo, armor, all your different types of ammo, all these different resources. But you have all these different approaches to how to get more of those. So you can use your fire attack if you want more armor. You can use your punch attack if you want more health. You can use your chainsaw attack if you want more ammo. And they all have cooldowns. And like all the grenades, once you get like upgrades to the grenades and stuff, they do certain things in those avenues too. And so once I started to get the gameplay loop, I really, really, really started to enjoy it. This is Doom 2016 was very, very good. It was a great way to reboot the game and just go again full on action, as opposed to something like Doom 3, which is like a more of a slow paced. From what I heard, I haven't played it. From when they rebooted it, at that point, it was more slow-paced horror kind of a thing. This is not a horror game. 2016 wasn't either. They did a good job of rebooting it and making it fresh and making it, just straight brainless action. I would not call Doom Eternal brainless, though. It actually required a lot of moving parts and a lot of multitasking and trying to think about multiple things at the same time. In fact, I wasn't very good at some of that, But I did enjoy the feeling of getting better at it over time, of remembering when I need to use certain abilities so that I can manage my health and my armor and my ammo, so that I'm not running out of armor and blowing through my health, or I'm not running out of ammo and having to rely on weaker guns and things like that. So it was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it. When it comes to critiques, I haven't really given it much thought. I think that the boss fights were really strong, and I think maybe it could have benefited from maybe one or two more, because there weren't many boss fights in this game. There are very few. So that's historically hasn't been a huge focus in Doom games, and that's okay. And so maybe that's them just trying to be more true to the spirit of the originals. But I think personally I would have enjoyed it, because I enjoyed the boss fights so much. I think I could have enjoyed maybe one or two. But the boss fights were really good. They were very inventive. You had to do very specific things. They weren't quite to the point of like puzzle fights where it's just learning the gimmick and then basically you have it. It was still hard even when you knew what you had to do. But it was also a lot more complicated than just pump every ammo bullet you have into the enemy until one of you is dead. It was a lot more complicated than that. So I really enjoyed that. I think maybe the game could have benefited maybe from a couple more couple more bosses. That might be a preference thing. But I struggle to come up with any other. I guess I didn't really follow the story. I didn't really understand what was going on. But I think that's probably my fault because I didn't read all the lore. So when the game's not, for me, it wasn't really about the story. It was just about getting through the levels and checking the maps and, managing my resources and all that. So when they would occasionally launch into a cutscene where they were explaining what was happening, I kind of was lost. But again, I think that might just have to do with me not reading the lore. I didn't really care about the story, to be honest with you. So when they did launch into cutscenes that there was some story happening, I was just like, okay, let's go. Other than that, I really don't have any complaints. I really, really enjoyed it. It's going to rank very well because Doom 2016, I really, really enjoyed that game. It's 179 all time. This is going to rank higher than that. So it's going to rank very well. 179 might not sound like a high ranking, but it's very, very good. That's an A tier rank. So I've got other games like Blasphemous, Halo Reach, Gears of War 2, Red Dead Redemption, Super Mario Odyssey. Those are the games around 179. So those are all great games. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I really had a great time with it. I really don't have any major complaints. It was a blast. From start to finish, it was a blast. All right. Last order of business here. Doom Eternal. It has been fun. What a blast. But we are now going to delete you from our console and never play you again. Bye. Thank you. Appreciate you. Great game.